For most people, their 401k is one of the single most valuable tools that they have in their wealth building toolkit. Whenever there are changes or whenever there are things that happen that may impact your retirement account, we want to make sure that you know about them.
Democratizing access to alternative assets for 401k investors. Signed in on August 7th. Is there anything to this? What do you actually need to know? And will this actually impact your 401k?
If it happens, this potentially could open up $12 trillion in retirement assets, or about 20% of the overall market, to invest in these types of asset classes. And so now they are saying, hey, we want this pot of money, these pot of assets, to be able to invest in even more things and even different things. And you might be thinking, oh, this is a good thing. More options is better. When I go to the buffet, I want as many options there as possible. Even if this ends up moving forward, it doesn't mean that it's going to exactly happen inside your 401k. What will likely happen is they will expand the ability for these things to be in 401ks, and it'll be up for the individual fiduciaries to decide if that goes in. And a lot of fiduciaries are still going to be concerned about whether or not making that available inside of the retirement account is them still satisfying their fiduciary duty. So even if this is allowed in some 401k plans or some 403b plans, it does not mean that it's going to be available in yours. And even if it happens, it likely means that it's not going to happen immediately. There's still going to be some lag time before this gets implemented.
Key takeaways for you. First of all, we have to get over the boundary of, will fiduciaries even take this risk, since their rear ends are kind of on the line, unless they somehow change the rules where the fiduciary standard is lowered significantly on these plans. Your key investments, when you get to 5 and 6, we want you just buying into the market. And it's going to be hard to do better than just core index funds or index target retirement funds. All the asset classes that were listed on this executive order are items I would consider to be step 8.
More options does not mean better options. And one thing that we want to make sure you're aware of is that higher risk does not always guarantee higher returns. A lot of these private placement, private equity, real estate, even some of the crypto investments may be far out on the risk scale, but that does not necessarily correlate to meaning that you're going to have higher returns. Building wealth is not necessarily easy, but it is remarkably simple.
You want to have a plan that's good before, that no matter what comes your way, that even if you're in the middle of chaos, it's good during, and then it's good after. Put on your blinders and stick with the plan that's going to get you there. Don't get distracted by chasing the hot dot of what is the latest, greatest trend that's making it through the news cycle.